It's a very fun day today. We are going to be doing a hood notch fill on my car. If you come from a Volkswagen, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to film the process today. I'm also going to fill these in because I'm trying to send the bumper to paint tomorrow. So let's see how it goes. I'm here at my friend Liam's house, and he's going to help me with this process. He's a master welder. And just show you around. He's always working on something cool. This is Liam.
What's up? I'm the welder.
He's the welder. I'm sure you do more than just welding.
I build a whole lot of stuff.
And he does a lot of racing too.
Yeah, and the Volkswagen.
Oh, I didn't even show them the Volkswagen yet. I'll get to that. What are we doing today?
We are filling Jeff's notch on the hood for the badge. He's doing a badge delete. So I'm just going to tack in a piece of sheet metal and we're going to fill it.
Sweet.
So.
Dope. You want to advertise your side work you're doing?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Anywhere fabrication, I can do some exhaust work. I can do a little bit of body work. I don't really do a whole lot of finish work on the body work, but I will do some welding for you. Putting a cage in my car. I'm doing a roll bar kit next week, so I got a whole lot going on.
I'll put your. You prefer what, your Instagram name?
Yeah,
I'll put the Instagram name right here.
I'll put the business name too.
Yeah, alright, word. I'm just gonna go film around because you have a lot of cool stuff going on. What is this, a Camaro grill?
Camaro grill, 68, 69. I think it's just a base model, but I didn't even really have to cut it. It just fit.
Dude. What do you have in this?
I would do a 3-liter out of an Outback. It's now a 6-cylinder. Bone stock, but pretty quick. And it's very dirty right now.
So Liam goes for the 3 liters. A lot of people would probably put, what? An EJ on it? Is that what it's called, an EJ?
EJ25, EJ20.
Liam goes for the 3.0 6 cylinders on this.
Displacement.
It's a little dirty. You can tell he tracks this thing. Alright guys, so back to this. Also, if you haven't noticed, I did finally get my inspection, thank you Lord. That's the only reason why I'm doing this right now. There's a big car show on Sunday, the Yukon car show. I'm really trying to get this done and painted for. Also, we are going away for my birthday. We're having a little get together in Cape Cod, so trying to get this done. So for this, I have this piece of plastic that I'm literally just gonna epoxy there to fill that in. You can see I'm gonna trace this cat. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I lost the other side. I'm sorry, Liam. Unfortunately, I lost the other side, so I'm kind of forced to fill it because these are impossible to locate online. This is a rep bumper, so the washer fluid cap for the OEM one is not the same as this one, so I'm basically screwed. Alright, well Liam's gonna use a plasma cutter to cut through this is what I say, like 16 millimeters, 16 gauge.
Yep.
Alright, so this is what we got. I cut the second one, but I'm not sure where I put it, but this is a perfect length. Not length, thickness. So we're just gonna sit this in here, like so, and this is literally perfect. It may not fit snug, but we're gonna cover it, so it really doesn't matter. So that's one of them. And here's the second one. I'm gonna mix some epoxy and get this in there so we can start filling it. So I use this to trace onto this. That's what I came up with. Honestly, that came out pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of this epoxy. That's what I went with, Plastic Bonder by JB Weld. If you see here, it's sets in 15 minutes and it's sandable. So this is going to be perfect to fill that in and hold it in place. So I'm going to mix some of this now. And I'm going to fasten this to the bumper, I guess. Adhesive, I don't know. Let's go, let's do it. So I'm mixing the epoxy. And I'm just going to try not to make a mess doing this. I think that looks pretty good. Where's the freaking right passenger side? So, an issue I'm running into right now is it's sliding off. And that's not good because I don't want there to be a noticeable seam right here. Just gonna make sure it's flush. Alright, while I wait for this to settle and dry a little, hopefully it's not sliding down and then it's gonna be uneven, but I feel it's just plastic. I can always sand it. Liam cut this out. I'm just gonna set it up, hold it up with duct tape, and then just tack it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So for this side, I use my brain. I put the epoxy on the bottom to hold it in place. That way it'll be like stuck on there, so it won't slide off when I cake all the crap on it. So Liam killed it on this notch. Look at that. It's awesome. Now I'm gonna start filling it, and let's see how far we go. So I started mixing some of this. I'll show you guys what I use for this. Forgot to film, so let's do that. Put it on there, and hopefully it'll dry, and we can start sanding. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. It's on there enough so it won't slide off when I start caking it on there. So I'm going to pile some more on that. This one, I'm not too worried because, as you can see, it is sliding, so that part is really low. But I can always sand this hole down and just fill that top, so I'm not worried. Alright, so I'm back at my place. Liam had to go go-karting. This is what we're left with. So this is, honestly, dried up pretty quick. It's a little sticky, so I'm going to let it sit a little longer. It looks nasty now, but we're going to shave it down and sand it. I mean, it's going to look good, so I'm not worried about that. That honestly looks really good. This came out really good. It's on there, so now I can start caking the filler on there. And this one's interesting. I guess we're going to see. This one's interesting, so I guess we're going to find out. But worst case scenario, I have to sand this down and just cake somewhere right here because it is low. So, some body work at this point. So let's keep going. Hey guys, it's late, it's dark. So yesterday I left off. I sanded all that down. I actually got it pretty nice and flat. I'm sorry I didn't film it. I'm working on a time crunch here. I sanded it and I just primed it so it doesn't rust. So that looks good. And then I put a little little Bondo filler over some little pits. So I'm gonna sand that nice and flat. I ran out of epoxy, so I started using the filler. So I glubbed a bunch of that on the sides. I'm going to let it dry, and tomorrow I'm going to sand these down. As you can see. And then there's probably, I know that side, this side right here is a little low. Right here. This side is definitely low, so that'll be a nice base. Tomorrow I'll put some more on, let it dry, and start shaping it. So let's see how that goes. Alright guys, today is day 3. Last night I showed you guys basically just glopping a bunch of Bondo on there. Today I'm just going to start shaping it, add a couple more layers, and hopefully I can get it primered and ready for paint. Alright, so this side's looking good. Still needs a little bit of Bondo, but honestly, pretty happy with how this is coming out. The other side needs work. The epoxy stuff is harder to sand down by hand, and I'm trying to still keep the body lines of the bumper, so I'm being extra careful with that. But still high around the edges, especially right here by the headlight. I'm going to take the bumper off. And this, honestly, this looks pretty good. Once I get to a nice fine sanding here, that'll be fine. I filled in some little pits that were in here yesterday. I did miss a few right here, so I'm going to add a small layer of Bondo here again. Alright guys, I took it off the car to make sanding easier, and it was. That is looking so good. A lot of fuzzies on the bumper because of the plastic. So good, dude. Get closer up so you can see it. Alright, let's keep going. Alright guys, we mix some Bondo. So So I switched over to Bondo because A, it was cheaper and it's easier to sand. I'm not too worried about cracking because I did use the epoxy as a base, so this should be fine. So I'm gonna let this sit for about a half hour to an hour and then start sanding. Hopefully I won't have to fill it anymore after that, and get some primer on. Before that wet sand, get some primer on, and there's a meet tonight, so I might want to go today with the primed car. I feel like that would be different, a good different though, so. I guess I sanded too much, so I'm gonna have to add another small layer of Bondo. Let me get a close up on this. Yeah, that looks great. And it feels really smooth too. Very happy with that. I threw a little bit of primer on here just so I can see the bumps. But this side looks pretty good. And this side is a little bump right here that I'm gonna fill. Okay guys, so this is done. It looks beautiful compared to what it was before. This one, almost there. A little more holes I'm gonna fill. Oh, that's sick. Very happy, very happy. This is just about done. Gonna wet sand that and call it a day.